Well, it is happening. Mask mandates are returning to the United States, and this is because health experts are calling the next health scare the quademic. But this is also happening at the same time that China has declared an emergency. Today I'm going to break down what is going on, what we're seeing here in the United States, as well as over in China, and why this could impact the entire world. So I'll explain more on that in just a moment, but all I ask is one thing. It takes 2 seconds. Go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoy these daily updates, and now let's begin. So yes, mask mandates are returning. Look at this right here. It says face mask mandates return in multiple states as doctors warn of quademic of 4 viral infections. Okay, let's get right down to it. Let's talk about this, but again, I want to warn you on this. We are being impacted by multiple different viruses here inside the US, but China is going through something a little different. I'll explain more on that in just a moment. It says a quadruple whammy of viruses are hitting the US as millions go back to work after the holidays. It says official figures reveal that infections caused by flu, COVID, RSV, and the norovirus, are also called the stomach flu, all started to surge over the Christmas period when families gathered to celebrate. And experts say figures will only continue to rise over the coming weeks as the U.S. heads into the peak period of its annual flu season. Okay, this is exactly what we've been warned of multiple times over the past several weeks, is that people are going to be spreading their different germs and viruses when they meet with friends and family over the holidays for Christmas and New Year's. Well, that's no different because this year, experts believe we are going to see a surge in hospitalizations. Now, this is why more and more states are opting to bring back mask mandates. Okay, I want to show you this. It says an estimated 3.1 million people have been sickened by the flu so far this season, while 37,000 have been hospitalized and 1,500 have died. Goes on to say, there has also been an estimated 2.5 to 4.4 million COVID cases between October 1st and December 7th. Estimates suggest including 72 to 120,000 hospitalizations and 8,200 to 13,000 deaths. Yeah, that's happening. Now I want to show you something. Look at this. It says hospitals in parts of California, Illinois, Indiana, and New Jersey have also brought back the rules for staff and visitors. Officials in New York City are urging people to consider wearing a face mask on public transport. That's also in other states as well. When it comes to taking any type of public transportation, whether it's a bus, could be a train, right? Even a plane, some states are saying we should be wearing masks. Now, I'm not saying you need to do that. I'm not saying I'm going to do it, but at the same time, that's what states are telling us. Now, I want to show you something else. Okay? We are seeing the mask mandates come back. I've already seen it in many different restaurants where they are not warning, but they're recommending that you wear a mask when you enter the restaurant and you only take it off to eat or drink something. That's it. I remember those days? Yeah, they were terrible. It's one of the reasons why many restaurants closed down in 2020 and 2021, because how could they stay open when people were being forced to try to eat while wearing a mask? Now, I want to show you this. It says medical experts predicted the surge of cases due of the holiday season, with millions of Americans mixing and mingling at airports and family gatherings. According to some data, initial data, they are saying that this year we're going to see more cases than we've seen before, especially over the past couple of years. And this has to do with all those different illnesses. Okay, keep in mind the flu, okay, RSV, COVID, and again, then you got the norovirus, but that doesn't even include potentially bird flu. That's another big one. And look at this, okay? It says in severe bird flu cases, the virus can mutate as it lingers in the body. It says as the seasonal flu picks up, there are even more opportunities for the bird flu to acquire mutations as the different influenza viruses mix. Okay, That right there is scary in itself. But let's look at what's going on in China. Look at this right here. It says China is facing new COVID-like pandemic. Here's everything we know about it so far. Okay? Says right here, China virus outbreak news. There is no confirmation from Chinese health officials or the World Health Organization regarding any such epidemic or state of emergency in China, though users on social media are sharing about new epidemic overwhelming hospitals and crematories in China involving influenza A, HMPV, mycoplasma pneumonia, and COVID, but they're unsupported, according to this Economic Times of India. Okay? Now, here's what I want you to understand. When China first was experiencing COVID, right, this back in the late 2019, the problem was they were never giving us the real answers. Okay? Even in 2020, even in 2021 and 2022, they were trying to push back against the U.S., push back against other countries as well. They were not owning up to the fact that it started in Wuhan, China. That's a problem, right? So how can we believe everything that they're telling us? That's where experts are saying that maybe we can't. But look at this. This is back on December 27th. It says China steps up monitoring of emerging respiratory diseases. Goes on to say China's Disease Control Authority said on Friday that it was piloting a monitoring system for pneumonia of unknown origin with cases of some respiratory diseases expected to rise through the winter. It says the move to establish a dedicated system is aimed at helping authorities set up protocols to handle unknown pathogens, in contrast to the lower level of preparedness 5 years ago when the novel COVID virus first emerged. Okay. Now, this was a week ago. Okay. I want to show you something else. Look at this. It says China's likely to be affected by various respiratory infection diseases in winter and spring. It said, without elaborating that the overall number of cases this year would be smaller than last. Recent cases detected include pathogens such as the rhinovirus and human metapneumovirus, with cases of the human metapneumovirus among people under the age of 14 showing an upward trend, especially in northern provinces. Okay. Now, I want to leave you with one thing. Right now, many people do not believe what China's telling us. Okay? We've seen this before. We saw this at the end of 2019. We saw cases increase. We've been hearing more and more reports of people trying to leave China, to get out of the country, many of which are coming into the United States. They're trying to leave China because they don't trust the leadership in China. They don't trust what they're being told. They don't trust the economy and the direction it's currently headed and has been headed for several years. So people are leaving en masse. Well, this is where health experts here in the United States are concerned that if we do not lock down the borders, people from other countries are going to just swarm into the U.S. before Donald Trump steps in and to lock down the borders. And as people are coming in masses, it's actually going to hurt many people here in the U.S. because it might bring in a variant of one of the viruses we currently have. And that right there could mutate and cause more issues, more health issues in the future. So we'll see what's going to happen. But what I can tell you right now is that, yes, multiple states are now recommending and is in some cases mandating when it comes to any type of hospital, clinic. Okay, I've even heard reports that in certain cemeteries or the viewing areas, like you have to wear a mask. The whole people that come in, the loved ones and everything have to mask up just to come in. I'm not sure exactly what that's about, but I've been hearing a lot of reports on that. Also reports of people that are coughing in an airport, and I can't remember which airport it was, but people are walking around and they will hand you a mask. They do not want you coughing in an airport, and if you're coughing on an airplane, again, they will try to hand you a mask. Now, I don't know exactly how far this is going to go or if this is going to turn around and we're going to stop this. But at this time, that's what we know. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.